Hi, everyone, and welcome to my August newsletter. I wanted to just talk about a few topics that have come up here this past couple weeks that might be of interest to you guys. One being interest rates and how they might affect the market. Number two, the evolution of Leelanau County and homeownership there. And the third, of course, being a post I saw in on Overheard in Traverse City. So, real quick, the interest rate topic. So, I had a conversation with a local lender here a couple days ago, talking about what they're seeing in the market, if they're seeing any issues with lending, and whether or not the changes to the commissions have had any real impact on the lending side. And the answer to that was no and no. No, there hasn't been any real impact from on the lending side with a buyer broker or the buyer putting the commission on their side of the transaction, whether it's on the seller side or the buyer side. As long as there's a buyer broker agreement, it's treated as any other expense. When it comes to interest rates, we talked about what might happen if interest rates were to drop. And we both agreed that if interest rates drop, we're going to bring more people into the market, which could very well raise prices. So if you're a buyer and you're thinking about waiting for rates to drop, that gain or savings in monthly payment on interest might be offset by a higher purchase price, or worse yet, come back to competitive bidding. So that's not necessarily a good topic. That also relates to a post I saw recently on Overheard in Traverse City, where a person, everybody was asked, what would you like to see happen or change in Traverse City? One comment related to real estate, which said, would love to see more affordable housing, and added that employers should pay a fair living wage in order to make it more affordable for people to buy a home in the area. And that made me immediately think that, okay, what they're talking about is being able to afford the higher payment. Well, that's really no different, or increasing their buying power. That's really no difference than what happened in COVID when the government lowered interest rates. And we saw mortgage rates plummet. Well, what that effectively did is raise your buying power, or gave a buyer more money, or required less money to buy a larger home. And we all know what happened there. And all of a sudden, we had this boom of housing and competition and competitive bids, and et cetera, all to have prices somewhat overly inflate too quickly. So raising the wage isn't the issue. It really comes down to supply and demand. And what we need more houses. If there were more houses available, those that had some for sale would have no option but to lower the price. New construction is going to stay high because it costs what it costs to build. But existing home sales, where people have equity, if they're competing in with multiple homes for sale similar to theirs, they're going to have no choice but to lower the price. And so that's where you would see home prices drop. It wouldn't be so much in new construction. And then that also led to my next topic, which is the conversation I had with a local agent in Suttons Bay. And it really never occurred to me, but I've got a listing on Jacobson Road, which you've seen a video of down in our newsletter here over the past several months. That house is still not sold despite a $100,000 price reduction since its original listing about a year ago. And it's a beautiful home. It's in great shape, pole barn, 3-bed, 2-bath, great house. What I discovered was that there's been a change or a trend in Leelanau County towards mostly vacation homes, and that agents in the Suttons Bay market that have homes that are in subdivisions or are meant to be year-round residences are having a very difficult time selling, because the vast majority, or 2/3 of the buyer, which confirmed by another agent today that showed my condo in Suttons Bay, he also said 3/4 of the buyers he's dealing with are second home buyers only. And they typically tend to be older, often want yard or amenities that would help or make their kids or grandkids want to come visit. And so those kinds of things are important, more so than, let's say, a house in a subdivision. And I do know a home up in Suttons Bay area that also is beautiful house, new. I'd buy it if it weren't in Leelanau County. But there's a shift in the market in all of Leelanau County. So I thought that was kind of interesting and something I didn't realize, even being here in Traverse City, far more diverse with the job opportunities and so forth here versus Leelanau County. So anyway, that's about all I've got for this month. Weather's been absolutely beautiful here in July, or most of July. Unfortunately, I've been working a lot, so I haven't had as much opportunity to enjoy it, but I'm going to hopefully this weekend. And then the first few weeks here, a couple weeks of August, is looking like it's going to be dynamite as well. So hope you get a chance to get out and enjoy the summertime, and I will see you next month. Thanks.